Take me as I am, love me as I am, don't try to change me. There is love out there for everyone. I want to discuss with you this concept. Of course, I have been inspired to this topic by a video I have seen on TikTok, and we will show it to you too.
I was rejected by a matchmaker this week. She wouldn't be able to work with me. When we met, I told her what I was looking for and told her a lot about me. And I tried to highlight some of my core qualities, including the fact that I'm very, very type A, organized. I like to be the leader. I told her the types of things that I like doing. I also told her I was looking for a man who was also a leader because I don't want to always be the leader, believe it or not. I told her I was looking for someone that was at or above the same income level as me, driven, who is ambitious, who is ready for a long-term relationship and ready to get married. She may have actually picked up on the fact that I'm a little high-strung. I'm not like a stressed out or anxious person. I'm just high energy or type A. This is who I am. And she was asking me, do I meditate? No. Do I journal? No. Do anything woo? And I said, no. I said, in fact, I'm not even on the same planet as woo. When talking about what I didn't like in a man, I said I could never really be with a beta type man. I specifically used the word doormat. I said I would chew them up and spit them out. And her response was, well, I married that type of man. She was saying that, men really like a soft woman and I should try some of these vision board, journaling, meditating type of things. We're never going to be that type of person. She also said that she could sense I had some walls up, which of course I'm coming to meet a woman who I'm asking to find my future husband at the rate of several $1,000s. I, of course, am going to be here really just trying to interview you, my dear friend, because I want to know if I'm going to get my money's worth with you. So of course I'm going to have some walls up. I also think it's perfectly normal to have some walls up when you are meeting someone for the very first time and who also had not taken the time to do her own research on me by stalking me on the internet. She definitely didn't have time because she asked for my socials no more than 1 hour before our meeting. So I asked her if she thought I would be ready for her services. Her response, she essentially said that I am not ready for her type of services because I have too much work to do. My walls are too high and I'm not ready for a long-term committed relationship at the ripe age of 38, where I have been in therapy for 10 plus years. She also said that she's too woo for me, which I can accept that. That's fine. However, I shouldn't need to be a woo type person to be worthy of love. She also said that I need to soften a little bit. And men like a softer woman. Essentially, I spent $350 to meet with this woman, have her tell me I am not worthy of love as I am, but the fact that I need to change in order to be worthy of love and partnership. Which honestly, I think for that reason alone, she should have her matchmaking license taken away because we shouldn't be pushing on these narratives that people are not worthy as they are. And essentially telling women that the type of woman they are isn't worthy of love. That is a narrative that should not be given to anyone, or it is dangerous commentary. And the fact that she said this to my face had some audacity. Well, we're celebrating my 38th birthday tonight, and we are going to wash all of what she said aside. I am so excited. And we're going to believe that no matter the type of woman you are, love is out there for you. We are not going to listen to this toxic narrative.
As a professional matchmaker with over a decade of practical experience in introducing singles, getting the feedback after the first, second dates, I can understand precisely well how this consultation of a woman from the video and a matchmaker actually went. Because singles so often confuse professional matchmaking with shopping. They believe that it is really similar to buying a car. Well, you have a budget and now you can choose the exact color. Now you can choose exact features, like extra features, if you're willing to pay extra. And a matchmaker has to produce you this perfect match, perfect man or perfect woman out of thin air magically, or print it on a 3D printer. A woman in the video claims she is a leader, she feels that she is a leader, and she wants to date a leader, but she doesn't want to lead all the time, and yada yada yada. And you don't need to be a professional psychologist to point out who is a problem, why she is single, because her perception of love, her perception of this love search, her perception of a man she wants to build a committed, serious, lasting relationship is so far from reality. It's so inadequate, it's so immature. A person can be in her 30s, 40s, 50s, but they can still have totally unrealistic, very childish understanding about love, about their own market value on the dating market, about committed relationship and what it is like to be in a committed relationship. Because, well, when you start dating someone or searching for love, you have to be ready for changes. If you are not ready to change, if you have this idea that there is love out there for everyone, like this lady has mentioned in the video, like a matchmaker claimed that she is unworthy of love. No, a matchmaker said that you are not ready to meet someone, you're not ready to start working on yourself because you claim you don't want to change. Not so long ago, I had a consultation with a pre-client, and this gentleman, he is 55 years old, divorced with adult children from the first marriage. He lives in the United States. He works at a middle position as a middle manager, and he claimed he wanted to date only someone 20-25 years younger. Why? Well, because he simply can't feel attracted to women his age or to women who are like 5-10 years younger, like 20-25 years younger. That's his age group. And he wants her to be never married, to have no kids from previous relationships. He wants her to be of this height precisely. He wants her to be very attractive, and he wants her to love him the way he is, to accept him despite the age gap and everything. When I have asked him, but why this woman who is like 20-25 years younger than you are, who is attractive, who doesn't have kids, has a good career, why should she choose you? And he has smiled to me like he has expected this question, and he said that daddy issues. And I have asked him, like, okay, let's assume like so-called daddy issues are there. So are you ready to spoil her rotten, to buy her Prada, Gucci, to fly her business if you want to be in this sugar daddy, sugar baby relationship? And this man, he was shocked. He said that no, of course not. I'm not going to do such a thing. She has to choose me the way I am, and she has to love me purely with her whole heart and soul, just because I love her and our love would be magical and blah blah blah. Of course, that's crazy unrealistic. And this man, he didn't become our client. He claimed that I know nothing about dating, about love, because for sure there are women out there who want to date much older men, and not for their power of money or gifts or for the lifestyle. No, just because. Or another man, this time a gentleman from France. He is a programmer, 52 years old, and he looks good for his age. He is tall, he is athletic, so he works out. He has a full head of hair that just has started getting some silver in it. So he's a handsome man. He has never been married. He doesn't have children. And he said that he wants to date a woman only in her 20s, middle 20s up till late 20s, like early 20s. Probably that's like too young for him. And she has to work in IT, just like himself, because then they will have lots of topics to discuss, or another field that offers you flexibility so that you can work from home, from other countries, and is well paid, because he is not ready to support his girlfriend or future wife with money, because he believed that women, like a real modern woman, she has to be like self-sufficient, she has to be career-driven, etc. And this woman in her 20s, who has at least master's degree and speaks English or French or better both, who is very good looking, who is 1 meter and taller, because this man wants to have 2 kids. So she has to choose him, she has to be willing to have his babies within the next 2-3 years, because he's in his early 50s and he believes that now is the time to have children. And what can he offer her? The fact that he looks good for his age? Like, there are men in their 30s, in their 40s who look good for their age. There are men in their 20s who look good for their age. Why should she choose you? And this man tells me that, well, men of my caliber, they just can't settle for less. They know their worth. And you can tell by this language, same as the woman in the video who claims like she would never date a doormat because she would chew and spit him out. Like when people use this language, they kind of try to increase their self-esteem, their own dating market value, and belittle people around. And it is not attractive at all. Actually, it is a huge turn-off and a big red flag. Man of his caliber, what exactly he even means? That he is tall, that he doesn't have like ex-wives and kids. Yes, some women will find it attractive, but not women in their 20s, because they have lots of options of guys their age, 3 years older, 5 years older, 10 years older, who are in the same position, like never married, no kids, have stable, promising careers, are good looking. When you start looking for love, when you start looking for a committed relationship, the idea that I'm not going to compromise, I know my own worth, I am the man of this caliber, I know exactly what I want, this is always the road to failure. Yes, it is great to know your own worth, but it is also important to be in demand. And you know what? To know your worth means that you won't settle for someone who is, for example, rude, or you won't settle for someone who disrespects you, or who is disrespectful, rude and nasty to other people, or someone negative, or someone whose values do not align with yours. It has nothing to do with his height or her height, hair color, and the age difference. Just because a man hasn't lost his hair or he got new hair and nowadays you can do it, it doesn't mean that now all women who are like 20, 25 years younger want to date him. Of course it is important to have standards. Of course it is important to know what you want. For example, if a woman wants to get officially married, she wants to have children, she wants to have it within the next 5 years, it makes little sense to date someone, to invest your time into a man who from the very beginning tells her that he's not ready for marriage. He wants it, but maybe like in 10 years. Maybe after he finishes this project, that project, his education, relocates to Japan, etc. So it makes zero sense to invest time and love and effort into this relationship. Knowing your own worth means that you know your long-term goals, you know your values, and you understand that you can't be with a person, for example, who is not religious or is too religious or who supports the war, because these things, they are fundamental, and you can't build a relationship with someone who has totally different understanding about money or gender roles. For example, a woman, she believes that she is a woman, she has to look pretty, take care of the house, take care of the kids, and a man has to be a provider. He has to pay for everything and earn money, and this is how it was in her family. Like her parents have showed her this model. If you are not on the same page with her, don't jump into a relationship, because it will be a road to failure. You will start fighting over money, and it will never work well at the end. But when you start looking for love and you have this long, huge list of totally unrealistic and totally unimportant qualities, because for a lasting, committed relationship, it's not important, this alpha beta thing like the woman describes in the video. That's nuts. Or for example, a man who claims she has to be exactly of this age, she has to be this and that. That's not important. For example, this French guy, he should be looking for someone who wants to have children, and who wants to have children with an older man, because like he is 52, and one can understand why he is looking for a younger woman. But a woman in her late 30s, early 40s can be willing to have kids and can be looking for a man like him to have these children with. A woman in her 20s is not looking for his type, and he will waste lots of time chasing this idea that he can get a woman like that. He can get lots of drama and waste lots of time, and at the end of the day he will be in his middle 50s. And women in their late 30s, early 40s who want to have children, they won't pay him attention. He will lose this chance. There is always a reason why people are single. Of course, it can be because they don't get many chances, many opportunities to actually meet someone. For example, a person works from home, or he works in the same company and there are like only 10 employees, and they all know each other for years, and there are no available women or men there. And for example, life is limited to home, office and gym, and this person doesn't have a chance to actually meet someone. Or for example, this person is new on the dating market and he or she doesn't know how to use Tinder, how to do online dating, if there is speed dating, how to present themselves, how to flirt, how to build this quality communication. Because one can be a blast with friends, one can be totally easygoing and really friendly, and people can like this man or this woman, but when it comes to dating, a person can feel lost in front of a beautiful woman or in front of an attractive man. I have seen it so many times when people try to sell their professional skills. Like for example, a lady, she is a lawyer, and on a date she has started solving some legal issues for a guy, and at the end of the date he actually hired her as a lawyer, but of course there was no second date because, well, in professional field she's super good, she's super professional, super experienced, but when it comes to romantic communication she has very little experience, she has forgotten how to do it. So matchmaking can be a great solution for such people, because not only you start meeting your people, you also learn how to become better at dating, you learn how to date better, how to flirt, how to build communication. You are ready to change, you want to learn, you want to change your patterns because you want to get a different result. But there can be different scenarios. A person can be single because of the attitude, his or her attitude. He believes that he is like upper level, or he is a man of this caliber, he knows what he wants. Or like a woman in this video, she has all these crazy ideas about alpha beta scene, and she has totally unrealistic expectations about dating, and even if you place like 5 great guys in front of her, she will find faults and she won't choose anyone because she will think that they don't match her like fairy tale prince she has created in her mind. So people come up with unrealistic expectations, people come up with lots of insecurities, with very low communicational skills, with poor attitude. People can be super negative. We have once worked with a guy and he would like text our manager like an angry message, and then he would delete it. Then he would send another message, delete it. And he did the same thing with all his dates. He would write something nasty, delete it, then write something new. But people can see the first message, and of course nobody wanted to date him because of his attitude, his issues. So this man should invest into a psychologist and overcome these issues. I have seen so many women and some men who are so obsessed with like looks. For example, a woman can say that I can only be attracted to a guy who is over 1 meter and 85 centimeters tall, and she's, for example, 1 meter and 60 centimeters tall, so she is not even of average height, and she wants to date like a tall guy. And like the average height of a man, it's not 1 meter 85 centimeters tall. Like there are many great guys who are like 1 meter 70 centimeters tall, 1 meter 75 centimeters tall, and she doesn't even consider this man. Why? Because she doesn't like her own height. She feels very insecure about it. So instead of going and working this through with a psychologist, she tries to overcompensate it by choosing only tall men, neglecting all the red flags, ignoring the green flags, and wasting lots of time. Or guys who create a certain image in their head what a perfect woman should look like. She has to be only blonde and only has blue eyes and only of this height. But why? Because deep down he's really insecure and he wants to prove to the world that, hey, I'm this great guy because this beautiful woman next to me has chosen me. So it means that I'm smart, it means that I'm attractive myself, that I'm super handsome, etc. Let's continue talking about the bad attitude that prevents so many people from actually changing their dating life. We have once worked with a complainer who has complained about pillows in his hotel, chairs in the restaurant. Well, they didn't have rabbit, the restaurant ran out of rabbit. Wow, like this date is ruined, and everybody was to blame, like the matchmaking service, his date, the restaurant, the weather, the country, because they didn't have the rabbit, they didn't serve him rabbit. Is it a big surprise that this man is single? Nobody wants to date a complainer, nobody wants to date someone negative. And sometimes people tell that, oh, my friend Anna, she's such a sweetheart and we all love her, but she just can't find the right guy. And there is always a reason why Anna is single or why John is single. Of course, matchmaking is a great solution, because if you are actually ready to listen for the feedback, to get the advices that you have actually paid for when you pay a matchmaker, then you can change your ways, you can change the pattern, you can get different results. But sometimes people, like for example the lady in this TikTok video, she has paid for this consultation with the matchmaker, but she didn't get any value. She didn't want to listen to what the matchmaker had to say. She didn't want to compromise. She was stuck in her own ways. Every year we have at least several male or female clients who in detail after the date describe what their date did wrong, what this woman did wrong or what the man did wrong, and why they were not a good match, why, for example, I did a bad job introducing them to this lady or to this man. And they complain, and sometimes they don't control the language they use, describing like how dull it was, how terrible it was, etc. And when I ask these people, like, are you ready for the feedback? Do you want to actually hear the other side? How, for example, the lady has enjoyed the date with you, what she has to say about the date with you. Do you want to hear my observation? Are you ready for my feedback? And these people say that no, I'm not ready for the feedback. I don't want the feedback. I don't need the feedback, because I know I have aced it. I know it was splendid. I did splendidly. I did so well, and it is her fault I didn't feel chemistry or I didn't feel butterflies. It is her fault I didn't like her. It is the fault of the restaurant that they ran out of rabbit, and the fault of my date that chairs were uncomfortable, so that I did not enjoy the date the way I should have enjoyed it. And such people, they are single for a reason. They are not ready to see like the elephant in the room. They are not ready to understand that they are the problem, they are single. Matchmaking is the process that can help you become better at dating while you actually date, but only if you are ready to accept critique, to accept feedback, if you are ready to change your attitude, to learn something new. The attitude, you should love me, you should take me the way I am and don't try to change me, it never works. I want to wish you lots of love. Thank you so much for watching this video till the very end. Don't forget to press like to this video, to subscribe to this channel. Of course, I encourage everybody to become a sponsor and to support our channel if you like our content. You can book a complimentary consultation with the matchmaker by filling in the form below this video, by pressing on the link. I will leave it there for you. I will see you in the next video. My name is Svetlana Mucha. I'm the founder and the leading matchmaker at Diolli.com, and I wish you lots of love from München, Germany.